Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone!
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports Podcast. I'm the host of this podcast, Lane Frank. We're now up to 71, everybody. It's our 71 episode story, and an action-packed episode planned for you. It's our March Madness special, everybody. We're going to be doing strictly the bracket this episode. You're going to see who my national championship pick is for March Madness. It's the greatest time of year, everybody. March Madness, join the Schoolyard Sports bracket pool. Don't forget about that link in the description. But Schoolyard Sports 2021, my bracket prediction. Let's hop into it. It is bracket time, everybody! Let me get this out of the way right here. There's going to be no 16-over-1 upset. We're going to fill out the bracket right here on this episode. Is there going to be a 15-over-2 upset in my bracket? You'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to have some fun upset picks. I'm not going to get chalky at all on this. You're going to see who my national championship pick is, everything like that. Last year, I picked Illinois. Didn't go so well for me. I'm going to say this right here. I'm not picking Illinois to win the national championship this year. I'm not falling into the Big Ten trap again this year. Everything like that with Illinois. But this is going to be an action-packed episode, but let's all into it. First matchup we have on the board, Gonzaga, Georgia State. Best front court in the country, Chet Holmgren, Drew Timme. Two of the best players in college basketball. No debate about Chet Holmgren might even be the number one overall pick. I'm taking Gonzaga over Georgia State. Let's fill that in right there. Now, we got Boise State, Memphis. If Boise State wins this one, Leon Rice, former Mark Few assistant, will go up against Mark Few in the round of 32. Now, Penny Hardaway Jr., he's not come here to lose. And I think they do lose, though. Give me Boise State over Memphis. Boise State won the Mountain West, an amazing conference. I got Boise State beating Memphis. Let's fill that in right there. That's going to be a great round 32 matchup we're going to pick. Just a couple seconds. Yukon, New Mexico State. But a lot of people are picking New Mexico State in this one, but I am not. I've seen a lot of New Mexico State games this year. They had a close game against UTEP. They lost to Chicago State. They have Teddy Allen, who was standing in the Big Ten last year on Nebraska, gave Michigan a 30-piece, everything like that. But he left Nebraska. He's at New Mexico State now, but I don't think they win this one. RJ Cole, Dom Snogo get the win over New Mexico State, advancing to the round 32. Let's see what they face right here. Let's circle that in. Yukon. Now, Arkansas, Vermont, everybody. Last year in the West region, Virginia was the 4 seed. Ohio Bobcats were the 13 seed. I picked Ohio to beat Virginia. Now, this is the West region. Arkansas, 4 seed. Vermont, 13 seed. Vermont has the second highest rebounding rate of all time. Not in the season. Not any team of all time. Vermont pulling off the upset. I'm sorry, Eric Musselman. I'm sorry, JD Note. I'm sorry. Anybody on the Arkansas basketball team, anybody on the Arkansas basketball squad, anybody that's an Arkansas basketball fan. But this is a major upset. Vermont, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, going up against Yukon, which will be an amazing matchup. We're going to pick here in just a second. But I got Vermont advancing to round 32. Now, we have Alabama versus Rutgers, everybody. I have Rutgers winning this matchup. This is recorded before first 4 games. So I have Rutgers beating Notre Dame. Now, I have Alabama versus Rutgers. Let me clarify that right there. Alabama versus Rutgers. When Alabama's on, they're on, everybody. They have beaten Gonzaga this year. They've beaten Baylor this year. They have had some good wins. They almost beat Kentucky. But when they're off, they are off. They lost to LSU. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to some key teams. But I think Alabama gets clicking here. Javon Quinterly, J.D. Davidson, Jaden Shackelford, one of the best shooters in the country, get a win. Number 6 seed, Alabama, advancing over to round 32. Now, Texas Tech, Montana State. But now, this isn't going to be a walk in the park for Texas Tech. I know Kevin O'Banner has NCAA tournament experience from his time at Oral Roberts last season. Bryce Williams, no tournament experience. This is a transfer squad, everybody. Adonis Arms, what transfer from Winthrop, who played Villanova in the NCAA tournament last year, didn't win. Kevin O'Banner, like I said, from Oral Roberts, now on Texas Tech. And we have Bryce Williams from UTEP, had a good season there last year. Now he's on Texas Tech. First team, all Big 12. I got Texas Tech win this one, though. Montana State's got some good big men, but I got Texas Tech win this one. Advance to round 32, where they will play Alabama. Now, Michigan State, Davidson. A lot of people are taking Davidson in this matchup. I'm not. I got Michigan State advancing to the round 32, where I think they will play Duke over Cal State Fullerton. Michigan State good team. No win for Davidson here. Davidson didn't even win their conference tournament. Richmond won that one. Richmond won the A-10. So I got Michigan State, A.J. Hogard, hate to say it, Gabe Brown, advancing over to the round 32. Now, like I said, Duke advancing over to the round 32. No 15-2 upset here this year, in my opinion. Let's move over to the back top of the bracket. We got Gonzaga, Boise State. Everybody, who wins this matchup? Like I said, Leon Rice, former Gonzaga assistant, under Mark Fialoff, Gonzaga assistants in this tournament. I mean, Tommy Lloyd in Arizona put together a great team his first season at Arizona, first season as a head coach. I mean, that's just maybe a chance to win a national championship. Leon Rice at Boise State. Does he pull off the upset? Does he beat his mentor? No, I got Gonzaga advances to the Sweet 16. That front court, way too much for Boise State to handle. Now, Yukon, Vermont, this can be a great rebounding matchup. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but I got Yukon advancing. Adama Sanogo, too much for Vermont. Advancing to the Sweet 16, I got Yukon. Alabama, Texas Tech. I think this could be an intense game, and it kind of reminds me of that round 32 game Texas Tech had last year against Arkansas, but this way I have Texas Tech winning this one. Texas Tech advancing to the Sweet 16 for the second time in the past 3 tournaments. Texas Tech moving on to Sweet 16. Who they play between Michigan State and Duke. I got Duke in a blowout. Paolo Banchero gets an amazing game in this one. I don't think Tom Izzo ends Coach K's season. I don't think he ends his career or anything like that. I got Duke advancing over to the round of 32. Sweet 16. Now, we got Gonzaga versus Yukon. Everybody in the Sweet 16. We got Gonzaga in this one over Yukon advancing to the Elite Eight. Who they play in the Elite Eight? Texas Tech or Duke. Now, Texas Tech, Duke, good Sweet 16 matchup. A lot of people are taking Texas Tech because of that defense. I can't come do it, though. Paolo Banchero, a much better player than Bryson Williams, in my opinion. Duke has the better guards. A.J. Griffin, Jeremy Roach, almost won ACC. They should have won the ACC, Duke. So I got Duke advancing over Texas Tech, making the Elite Eight, where they'll face off against Gonzaga. This is going to be a fun matchup, everybody. We saw earlier in the year, Gonzaga versus Duke. Paolo Banchero went off. Chet Holmgren didn't have a good game, and Duke won that matchup, and that was without A.J. Griffin playing that many minutes. Now A.J. Griffin's playing a lot of minutes, but I can't do it, everybody. With the way Duke's played lately, against North Carolina, against Virginia Tech, against some other teams, against Virginia, against Clemson, where they almost lost that game, against Wake Forest, they choked that game, but then it was for Mark Williams' last-second buzzer beater. I got Gonzaga winning this one over Duke, and that's my first team in the Final Four. Gonzaga Bulldogs advance to the Final Four. Will Mark Few win a national championship this year? Is he my pick? Leave your answer in the comment section. We're going to get to that in a few moments. Now, Baylor, Norfolk State, like I said, no 16-1 matchup. Moving over to another region, the East region now. I got Baylor winning this one over Norfolk State. Now, North Carolina, Marquette. Shock Smart over at Marquette. Shock Smart never won an NCAA tournament game this time at Texas, but he took a VCU team that was in the first 4 over to the Final Four. First 4 to Final Four when he was at VCU. Does he get a win here on Marquette in his first time in the NCAA tournament? It's the Marquette head coach. I say no. I got UNC beating Marquette in this matchup, advancing to round 32. Well, they will face off against Baylor. Now, St. Mary's, Indiana. This is before the Indiana-Wyoming game. I have Indiana winning that game, and I have Indiana beating St. Mary's. My first 12-5 matchup. Always happens. I mean, it's proven to happen. Every single year in the NCAA tournament, I think a 12-5 matchup has happened. Give me Indiana beating St. Mary's. I mean, 12-5, you got to look for those matchups when you're filling out your bracket, everybody. Those are the picks you need to know. I got Indiana beating St. Mary's 12-5. UCLA, Akron, everybody. No match. Akron is for UCLA. I got UCLA, Johnny Juzang advancing to the round 32. They'll play Indiana. Texas, Virginia Tech, everybody. A lot of people are taking Virginia Tech. I don't blame them. Keve Aluma, Hunter Couture, but I don't think they're going to win this one. Chris Beard has never, ever lost an NCAA tournament game in the first round. Even when he was at Little Rock, they beat Purdue when he was at Little Rock, and Purdue was like a 3 seed that year. Then he went to Texas Tech, never lost first. I mean, a lot of people picked them to lose to Utah State last year in the first round. They didn't. Now, they're in the first round up against Virginia Tech. Chris Beard, great coach. Andrew Jones, I mean, one of the toughest players in college basketball. Been through the most of any college basketball player. Andrew Jones and Texas advance over to the round 32 after their terrible NCAA tournament experience last year, losing Abilene Christian in the first round, being a 14-3 upset. So I got Texas advancing over to the round 32. Purdue, Yale, yeah, no. Ivy League school never really wins an NCAA tournament game. I got Purdue, Travion Williams, too much for Yale. Now I got Purdue into the round 32. Now, this is going to be a fun matchup right here. 7 versus 10. You always got to look for these matchups. They are toss-ups. 8 versus 9s, 7 versus 10s are toss-ups, everybody. This is Murray State versus San Francisco. Now, I have no clue why San Francisco is in this tournament. You could say, oh, they play in a good conference. They play against Gonzaga. Yeah, but they get smoked every time they play Gonzaga. They don't beat St. Mary's. I don't think they deserve to be in this tournament. They have 9 losses. They do it to boost Gonzaga's resume, to boost the West Coast Conference resume. I don't get it. Murray State, 30-2 on the year. Not just the John Morant school anymore. Murray State, he had some great guards of the year. Cameron Payne, John Moran, obviously, the coach. Head coach Murray State has done an amazing job. Murray State has the best record in the country. Not the best team, though. Murray State advances over to the round 32. Kentucky, St. Peter's beat Monmouth in the conference tournament game, but I got Kentucky. Oscar Sheboy, should I say Dennis Rodman, advancing to the round 32. Now, let's move over to the top of this bracket, the East bracket. Baylor versus North Carolina, everybody. This is my biggest upset tournament. I have the Tar Heels. Brady Manick, Armando Bacot, Caleb Love. Too much for the Baylor, less Jonathan Trauma. Baylor without one of their best players, Jonathan Trauma. Won the national championship last year, but Baylor loses this year. This Baylor team kind of reminds me of the Villanova team the year after they won the national championship. So the 2017 Villanova team had Josh Hart, but they were 1 seed. Won their first round game, obviously. Then they go up against an 8 seed Wisconsin, and they lose that game. I think UNC is a lot like that Wisconsin team also. I got UNC advancing to the Sweet 16, where they will play UCLA, in my opinion. I got UCLA over Indiana. Trace Jackson-Davis will be a great matchup, choosing. And this is two of the most storied programs in college basketball history, Indiana and UCLA. But I got UCLA advancing to the Sweet 16, where they will play North Carolina. Texas, Purdue, everybody. Now, it's going to be a good matchup, but the front court of Purdue, too much for Texas to handle. Chris Beard, second straight year with the second round exit. Purdue moving over to the Sweet 16. Well, they will play Kentucky, in my opinion. That's going to be a fun matchup. Murray State, Kentucky. Murray State could give Kentucky some fits. They could give Ty Washington some fits. Oscar Sheboy, then the best rebounder of all time, you could say. Kentucky, in at least college basketball history, has never ever been out-rebounded in a single game of his college basketball career. Never, by any player, been out-rebounded by another player. Kentucky advances over to the Sweet 16, where they will play Purdue. That will be a fun matchup. So, UNC, UCLA, right here. UNC, good team. Brady Manick, like I said, Armando Bacot. UCLA, the better team. Jaime Jaquez gets the win over here. Jaime Jaquez, Johnny Juzang, Tiger Campbell advancing to the Elite Eight for the second straight season, where they beat my Michigan Wolverines last year. Do they win the Final Four? Do they make it to the Final Four this year? Wait to see. Now, Purdue, Kentucky, everybody. Purdue, really good team, but Jaden Ivey's explosiveness, I don't think that's going to be enough in this game. Sometimes, in that Big Ten championship game, if they won that Big Ten championship game, I would have them in the Final Four right now, but I don't. I have Kentucky advancing over Purdue, moving over to the Elite Eight, where I have Kentucky, UCLA, the Elite Eight, everybody. Who advances to the Final Four to play Gonzaga? I have the Kentucky Wildcats, John Calipari, advancing to the Final Four for the first time since Season 8. Carl Lee Towns, Devin Booker, Tyler Ulis, that was a great team. Should have won the national championship, undefeated the whole season. They'll go up against Gonzaga in the Final Four. Now, Arizona, Wright State, everybody. I have Wright State beating Bryant, so let's take Arizona in this matchup right here. Now, Seton Hall, TCU, everybody. This is going to be a good matchup, but TCU has so many good wins over the year. They have wins over Kansas. They have wins over Texas Tech. No-brainer, TCU advancing over to round 32. Houston, UAB. You like Houston on ESPN? BPI, they are the second-ranked team in the country on BPI. Now, is Houston the best team in the country, second-best team in the country? No. Are they worthy of this 5 seed? They should maybe be a little bit higher. 5 losses on the year. 2 of them being Memphis, 1 of them being SMU. And Houston's fought through a lot this year. One of their best players, Marcus Sasser, went down earlier in the year for the whole season. They would be maybe even the Final Four candidate. But I have Houston win this matchup. Shelly Walker, no match for this Houston team. Kyler Edwards gets open a lot in this game. I got Houston win this matchup over UAB. UAB Conference USA champions. UAB, a lot of bad losses over the year. Had a close game against UTEP. I got Houston advancing over to the round 32. Who will they play? Illinois, Chattanooga. The Chattanooga Mocs, great story. Buzzy Beer down 2 points, half court to make NCAA tournament against Furman. That was a fun game, crazy buzzy beater. But Illinois does win this matchup. Kofi Cockburn, one of the best players in college basketball, no debate about. First team, all college basketball player. These mid-majors have no match for Kofi Cockburn. I have Kofi Cockburn and Illinois making the round of 32. Andre Trabello, Alfonso Plummer, Trent Frazier. This is a great team off the bench, everything like that. So I get Illinois advancing over to the round of 32, where they'll play Houston. Now, Colorado State versus my Michigan Wolverines. Let me say this right here. Colorado State deserves their respect. David Roddy, good player. But they are no match for my Michigan Wolverines. Yes, my Michigan Wolverines are worthy of this number 11 seed, and they will prove it here in this region, in this matchup. My Michigan Wolverines beating Colorado State in a beatdown. Hunter Dickinson gets a huge win here. Jawan Howard solidifies himself as a good college basketball coach. Michigan advances to the round 32 for another year. Give me Michigan over Colorado State. Now, Tennessee versus Longwood, everybody. I'm not fully on the Tennessee hype train, but neither am I on the Longwood train. I got Tennessee beating Longwood here. They'll play Michigan in the round 32. Now, Ohio State, Loyola, Chicago, a lot of people are taking Loyola Chicago in this matchup. But no, Sister Jean powers do not work here. Drew Valentine, the youngest coach in D1 right now. Drew Valentine for Loyola Chicago doesn't get a win here. I got EJ Liddell. Hate to say it, pains me to say it, but I got Ohio State advancing over to round 32. Now, Villanova Delaware, it's going to be a close matchup. This is a 2 versus 15 matchup. I got Villanova winning by about 3 points this matchup. I like this Delaware team. They got good defense. Villanova, one of the most overrated teams, in my opinion, in the country. Just everything like that. Tennessee should have been a 2 seed over Villanova. Tennessee should have maybe even been a 1 seed over Baylor. Everything like that. So I got Villanova advancing to round 32, but I didn't share play. Very close. I think that game will be Arizona TCU, no-brainer. Arizona taking this one over TCU, advancing over to Sweet 16. Let's go down one. Houston versus Illinois play. This is going to be a good game. Kofi Cockburn, and then I think it's too much for Houston to handle. I think they advance to the Sweet 16. Illinois advances over to the Sweet 16 in this matchup after losing in the round 32 last year without Asumu to Loyola Chicago, who I just started losing in round 64. So I have Illinois in the Sweet 16 going up against Arizona. Michigan, Tennessee. I'm going to say it right here. My Michigan Wolverines roll over Tennessee. Tennessee has some great wins, but outside of Kennedy Chandler, outside of John Fulkerson, I really don't see much match. A lot of people are saying Tennessee's a Final Four, Tennessee national championship, Tennessee this, Tennessee that. Recency bias. That's what I have to say right there. Recency bias. People are saying, oh, they beat Kentucky. Yeah, did you see the part where they lost by 30 points to Kentucky earlier in the year when Ty Washington was hurt? No, you probably didn't. So let me take Michigan this match over Tennessee. Tennessee, one of the most overrated teams in the country. I know I said they should have been 2-line because they have a great record, everything like that, and they just won the SEC. But Michigan beats Tennessee in the round 32. Michigan advances to the Sweet 16. 11 seed over 3 seed. 11 seed in the Sweet 16. Like I said, Michigan into the Sweet 16. Ohio State, Villanova, pains me to do it. Ohio State advances over to the Sweet 16. Colin Gillespie ends his college career, and on a sad note, Colin Gillespie, great college player. I mean, Jay Wright's going to get his guys up for that Delaware game. Jay Wright, I don't think he's ever lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Doesn't here, but he doesn't win the round 32. Didn't win the round 30. I mean, lost in the Sweet 16 last year to Baylor. I got Ohio State in this one, though. I think Kyle Young's going to be back in this game. Kyle Young is just a great player for that Ohio State team. Pains me to do it, but I got Michigan, Ohio State, Sweet 16 everybody. But let's go over to the top. The first Sweet 16, Arizona versus Illinois. Where I have Arizona steamrolling over Illinois. Christian Coloco has a big game, in my opinion, here. Even without Kurkruja, because he might be hurt in this game, Kurkruja, I still have Arizona beating Illinois. Do I have Arizona making the Final Four? Stay tuned for a second. Now, Michigan, Ohio State in the Sweet 16. I got my Wolverines beating Ohio State very close. For the third time this year, the third matchup, I got my Michigan Wolverines winning the series. I mean, Ohio State won the first game. Michigan won the second game. Now, we got the third game where I got my Michigan Wolverines beating Ohio State, proving they're the better team. My Michigan Wolverines in the Elite Eight, where they face a familiar foe in Arizona. Now, I know it sounds a little bit weird, but earlier in the year, in the Las Vegas tournament, Michigan played Arizona, and Arizona steamrolled Michigan. Now, I don't think Arizona steamrolls Michigan here. I think it's a close game, but I got Arizona in the Final Four. But I got my Michigan Wolverines making all the way to the Elite Eight. I know some people, some Michigan friends I have, not even making Michigan past Tennessee. I got Michigan past Tennessee. I got Michigan past Sweet 16. I got Michigan into the Elite Eight where they'll play Arizona. But I got Arizona evidently win the one. Arizona moving on to the Final Four where they'll play. Let's see in a second where we go over to the Midwest region. Now, Kansas, Texas Southern beats Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I got Kansas beating Texas Southern. San Diego State, Creighton. San Diego State is the best defense in the country. San Diego State advances to round 32. Well, they will play Kansas Jayhawks. Iowa versus Richmond. Iowa just won the Big Ten. Iowa, not recency bias. I'm taking Iowa over Richmond. I mean, Iowa, good team. Really, really good team. Keegan Murray, one of the best players in the country. Richmond shouldn't even deserve to be in this tournament. I mean, they shouldn't be a 12 seed. The only reason they won this game, they would not be in this tournament if they didn't win the A10. They're 23-12 in the year. In a lackluster conference like the A10, I got Iowa in this one, steamrolling Richmond. Iowa going over to the round of 32. Who will they play? Providence, South Dakota State. Providence, the most lucky team in the country, in my opinion. It's just a coincidence that they're playing on St. Patrick's Day. But no luck of the Irish here for Providence. I got the Friars losing this one. South Dakota State shoots 45% from three. You heard that correctly. As a team, shoots 45% from three. South Dakota State, good team. I know they lost Ohio State in the tournament a couple years ago, but San Diego State advances over to the round of 32 this year. Gets some huge upset, 13-4 upset. I mean, Providence got crushed in that Big East game against Creighton. They just got in the quarterfinal. They got crushed in that game. So I got South Dakota State beating Providence. This one, Ed Cooley's guys don't win this matchup. I got South Dakota State in round 32 where they'll play Iowa. LSU or Iowa State. Whoo, this is a fun matchup right here. Iowa State head coach in his first season. They start off the year great, Iowa State. But Will Wade just got fired by LSU. By cause. Fired. because of NCAA violations, everything like that. Will LSU be up for this game? I think they will. This isn't the first time they're in the NCAA tournament without Will Wade. A couple years ago with Tremont Waters and Naz Reid, LSU, Will Wade was their head coach the whole entire season, but then they get to the NCAA tournament, and Will Wade isn't their head coach because he's suspended for NCAA violations. Now Will Wade isn't here. They won 2 NCAA tournament games. They made the Sweet 16. So I got LSU beating Iowa State in this one. Iowa State, like I said, start off the year well, not doing so well now. They had that great Penn State transfer. Iowa State got steamrolled by Oklahoma, by Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship tournament. So I got LSU beating Iowa State in this one. Wisconsin, Colgate everybody. Colgate gave Arkansas a huge scare in that NCAA tournament last year. And Wisconsin, Johnny Davis a little bit banged up. But I got Wisconsin advancing over to the round of 32. They'll play LSU. Now, USC Miami, this is the most intriguing matchup of the round of 64. No doubt about USC Miami, the most intriguing matchup. The round of 64. Both teams, who I thought going into the tournament without seeing the bracket, can make the Sweet 16. And I'm so upset they're pinned up against each other because I love Isaiah Mobley. I love Drew Pearson. I love Boogie Ellis. I love this USC team. I love this coach staff in the USC team and the NFL. But I also like this Miami team gave Duke a scare. ACC tournament. Duke beat Duke earlier in the season. But also had some bad loss to Florida State. USC lost to UCLA in the Pac-12 championship tournament. But I got USC beating Miami 7 seed over 10 seed. USC into the round 32. Now, Auburn, Jacksonville State. No upset here. No upset. Auburn advances over to the round 32, where we have no 1 over 16, 16 over 1s, and we have no 15 over 2s. I got Auburn moving on to the round 32. Now, let's move to the top of that bracket. Kansas for San Diego State. I think San Diego State gets Kansas a scare, but I got Kansas advancing to Sweet 16, where they will play Iowa, in my opinion. I love Keegan Murray. I love this Iowa squad. They beat my Michigan Wolverines earlier in the year. South Dakota State, no match for Iowa in this match, in my opinion. Good job, South Dakota State. I have you making it to the round 32, but Iowa beating you in the round 32. Iowa makes it over to the Sweet 16. LSU, Wisconsin, everybody. It's going to be a great matchup. LSU, good team. Wisconsin, guard play, everything like that. But Wisconsin, Chucky Hepburn steps up big in this game. I know he's a true freshman. Brad Davidson has waited for this moment. I got Wisconsin beating LSU, advancing over to the Sweet 16. USC, Auburn. I originally had Auburn losing this match to USC. Now I got Auburn into the Sweet 16. Bruce Pearl gets his guys up for this game. I got Auburn into the Sweet 16 where they'll play Wisconsin. Now, Kansas versus Iowa, but Kansas is a great team. So is Iowa. I originally had Iowa winning this matchup, but I have Kansas into the Elite Eight. Rock Jock, Jayhawk into the Elite Eight. Now, the second Sweet 16 matchup in the Midwest region, Wisconsin versus Auburn. Auburn, Walker Kessler, almost is like a Big Ten player. Walker Kessler plays like a Big Ten player, gets every block. He gets triple doubles with blocks. Now, that's blocks. He'll get 16 points a game. He'll get 11 rebounds, and he'll get 10 blocks. I've never seen that out of a player before. Walker Kessler, great player. Same with Jabari Smith Jr. This is Bruce Pearl's most talented team. Does that mean they're his best team? No, but I got Auburn beating Wisconsin's matchup. Chucky Hepburn, Tyler Call, Johnny Davis, Brad Davidson's career. However many years Brad Davidson's been in college. Seems like Brad Davidson's been in college forever, but I got Auburn win this matchup over Wisconsin, advancing to Elite Eight. Well, they'll have a tall task in the Kansas Jayhawks. Who is my last team into the Final Four? Can we get a drum roll, please? I got Kansas making the Final Four where they'll play off against Arizona. Okay, everybody, we got our Final Four. I got Gonzaga versus Kentucky, Arizona versus Kansas. So I have a bunch of 1 seeds, 3 1 seeds, 1 2 seed. I know it's a bit unpredictable. I know it's maybe a little bit chalky with Final Four, but I like it, everybody. I do. So who advances to the national championship? Let's start with Gonzaga, Kentucky. Now, Oscar Sheboy, Ty Washington. I have been so high on this Kentucky team all year, John Calipari's team. But no, their road ends here. I think they get crushed in the semifinal game, in the Final Four game, almost like the Baylor-Houston game a couple years last year. Baylor crushed them. Gonzaga wins this matchup over Kentucky. Gonzaga in the national championship game like they were last year. Chet Holmgren, Drew Timme, steamroll. Kentucky, that's fun. Now, Arizona, Kansas. This is going to be a fun matchup. I originally had Arizona winning this game. Benning Mathurin, good player. Kirk Creasy, good player, but he's injured. Christian Koloko, good player. Tommy Lloyd, first season as a head coach. I don't think your first season as a head coach, I don't think it's humanly possible to make a national championship. If he does it, all praise to Tommy Lloyd, everything like that, but I don't think it happens. I got Kansas, Rock Jock, Jayhawk into national championship. So I got Gonzaga versus Kansas in my national championship. Bill Self versus Mark Few. Stay tuned, see my national championship pick. So, I got Gonzaga versus Kansas in a national championship. Bill Self versus Mark Few. David McCormick versus Chet Holmgren and Drew Timme. Ochai Agbaji, a senior guard. Christian Braun, a junior guard. This is an experienced Kansas team. Do I have them win the national championship? Let me talk about Gonzaga here for a second. Gonzaga, a very good team. They might even be better than last year. They have Hunter Solis, a 5-star. I know he doesn't play much, but he's coming off the bench right now. Good player. They have Julian Strother, great player. Andrew Nembhard, transfer from Florida from a couple years ago, one of the best guards in the country. They have one of the best front courts of all time, maybe even the best front court of all time. But no, Gonzaga, maybe they win the national championship. Let's stay here 1 second. My national championship pick for this year, my 2022 national championship pick, is going to be Bill Self's team or is it going to be Mark Few's team? Kansas or Gonzaga? I got Kansas. Taking it home, everybody. Kansas, one of the best teams in the nation, the best team in the nation. Bill Self gets his squad a championship. Bill Self, one of the best coaches in the country, gets to win over Mark Few. This is going to be a crusher for Mark Few. This is going to end Mark Few almost. I mean, Mark Few is one of the best coaches in college basketball. And it's going to be sad to see right here because Mark Few deserves a national championship. But I don't think he gets it this year. Kansas is the most experienced team in my country this year. You could say it's Villanova, but I don't think so. Kansas, David McCormick, been through a lot. Ochai Agbaji, been through a lot. First team All-American, everything like that. Christian Braun, one of the best players in the country. This is a great Kansas team. Dejon Harris, they are the most well-rounded team in the country. I know it's a bit of a shocker pick here. I was thinking about maybe taking Arizona in my national championship game against Gonzaga, but no. Gonzaga loses to Kansas in my national championship game. My 2021-2022 national champion is Kansas Jayhawks, everybody. Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, give me Kansas. They deserve it. I mean, never won a national championship with Joel Embiid and Andrew Wiggins. Haven't won one in a while. Bill Self deserves a national championship. Kansas gets a national championship. My 2021-2022 national championship pick is the Kansas Jayhawks, everybody. Thank you for watching this bracket special. Now, thank you, Schoolyard Sports fans, for listening to that action-packed episode number 71, our bracket special. We're going to break down everything next week that's going on in the NFL, free agency, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. We're going to break that all down in next week's episode. This is March Madness. It's the best time of the year of play. Thank you for watching my March Madness special. Question today is, who will win the national championship? Leave your answer in the comment section. Now, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Twitter at Schoolyard Sport. Join the Schoolyard Sports ESPN Tournament Challenge on ESPN link, about a link in the description, everything like that. Stay tuned, Schoolyard Sports fans, for the best sports content in the world. We'll see you back here next week on episode number 72. Stay tuned.